Okay, in this video I'm going to show you all how to successfully and very easily maintain your Windows installation. And by maintain I mean keeping the registry clean, keeping the whole system clean, and pretty well keeping the system up and running real well. In order to do this, it's going to require you to open up your browser, and you're going to have to download one program in particular. So you bring up your browser, click up in the address bar, type in www.iobit.com, and as soon as it brings you to the main screen, you'll see Advanced System Care 6 free. Right there, click download now. Save. As soon as it finishes downloading, you can click on the file to run it from the browser. It'll pop up user account control if you're running anything Windows Vista or higher. Just click yes. And right there on the installer, very first screen, accept and install. And at this particular point, you can close the browser back down. It says free iObit toolbar. Again, if you're like me, you hate toolbars, so just click decline. Now it's going to download the actual files and then install them. The Windows registry is a super important set of files that keeps track of and maintains all the files on your system. Unfortunately, due to installation and uninstallation of new programs, for several different reasons, your registry can actually end up corrupt. And when the registry ends up corrupt, okay, once it's done, just click finish. When the registry ends up corrupt, you end up with a lot of files that the system either doesn't know exists, or you end up where your system really doesn't know what's going on, and it'll start slowing way down. There's files that don't exist that it says do, or there's files that exist that it says don't. So it doesn't really know what to do. This program will take care of all that. Now, if you do an actual clean install, the first thing you'll notice is going to pop up the performance monitor, and it's also going to immediately start it. It'll give you a few options. You just go through and click it. Just click OK until you finally get to the screen where you have the option between simplified mode and expert mode. This right here is what you'll end up going through whenever you do the first install. Just click got it. Okay, you're going to want to change that from simplified mode to expert mode, and make sure all these are selected. Most of the time it'll start out looking kind of like this, with just half of them selected. If it's like that, that's fine. Over here in the lower left corner, you'll see one that says select all, and then from there you can click scan. When you click the scan button, you're going to see that this right here is everything that it's going to go through. And this automatic repair will be deselected. You can select it, and as soon as it finishes scanning and finds all the threats, from that particular point, it'll go through and do the repair. For now, I believe I'm going to stop the video, and then I'll pick back up once it's actually done with the scan. Okay, the scan is completed, and to be able to actually have the time to show you what each one of these are and what it does when it's done with the scan, I stopped the auto repair so that way I could actually show you these and explain it to you, and it'll show you what your actual security threats are for each one. First off, you have the malware threats. Malware is all unwanted software that actually is harmful to the system and your personal information. Malware is something you can get on the internet at any given time, and it's something you don't want on your system, and you don't want it staying there. And then you have the registry errors. Again, I explained the registry a little while ago. This is very important. If you have keys that are bad, it'll find the keys and either repair them if possible or remove them if it can't find the file anymore. Privacy issues are just that. Those are issues that contain personal information. As you can see on here, there's 14,627 junk files. That's just stuff that's absolutely taking up space that are not necessary nor required, and matter of fact, some of it contains personal information you really don't want maintained on your system. Internet problems or any actual settings issues or anything like that that is with your browser or your internet, your actual internet settings, this will go in and correct it. Shortcut errors, if you have a shortcut or an icon on your desktop that links back to a program that's no longer exists or has moved, it will fix that or remove the icon if it needs to. Registry fragments, you can actually end up just like the fragmented files down here at the very bottom. You can end up with chunks of the file that are strung across multiple parts of the hard drive. It'll actually defrag that and put it all together, make it all one continuous line where the drive can read it a whole lot quicker and a lot better. Just major performance issue. And then of course you have the performance issues where if there are any performance problems, it'll go in and correct those. Browser issues. This will automatically block a lot of bad websites that are known to be bad, and it'll also correct some problems if you're having internet issues. Disk errors, it'll actually scan all your hard drives to check the file table and the actual drive itself to see if there's any problems that it needs to repair. Here's a big one, security holes. If you have security problems or anything like that, or if you're missing a major update that fixes security problems, this will fix that error. And then I already explained the fragmented files. You can see that there's only 2, but on this massive drive, those 2 just really aren't a big deal. So at this particular point, I'm going to go ahead and click repair. If you had auto repair selected, it'll automatically just start repairing. And the repair process is generally pretty fast. The scan process, on the other hand, can take time. It can take anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour, depending on your system and how much stuff is on it. Once it's done, it'll go through. You'll see all these will have green check marks, and at that particular point, it's good to go. Okay, and once the repair and everything's all done, it'll look like this. Of course, sometimes it'll show that little red circle there with what looks like a power button indicator. That just means that it has to be rebooted in order to fix that issue, as it says right there, fix and reboot when you select it. Go back to the summary, it'll tell you repair finished, and it'll show you what all it actually fixed. And now that that's done, with the performance monitor, I'll explain a little more about it because this is kind of tied in and related. You see up here where it says PC Health, and you have a blue smiley face. As your system degrades, that smiley face will slowly turn into a frown. Whenever it's getting kind of moderate and getting close to time to need to actually do something with it and run advanced system care scan on your system again to clean it up, it'll turn yellow, and it'll have the 2 yellow eyes in a straight line instead of the smile. And when your system's getting real bad and it really needs to be done right now, it'll turn red. You'll have the 2 red eyes and a frown instead of the smiley face. Other than that, you can either shrink or completely close the performance monitor. I generally ignore it. It doesn't really matter too much to me. At this point, I want you to click back and then go over here to Toolbox. You'll see there's several options here under Toolbox, one of which under the repair you have Undelete, which means if you accidentally delete a file that you need to fetch back, you can use Undelete to do just that. Disk Doctor will check the hard drive. Most of everything that's under this, the system itself will actually take care of on its own by doing the scan. However, there is one that you really need to get, and you'll notice there's one here that says Pro by Startup Manager and Pro by Fixer. You're running the free version, and the primary thing I tend to show are the free apps that work great and actually do what they're supposed to. And as you can see right here, there's only 2 options that really require the Pro. But if you want the Pro will automatically do all this, where having the free version, you'll have to run the scan yourself. And I'd highly recommend running the scan at least once, if not once a week, once every other week, to keep your system well maintained. And this will help Windows run real well for a very, very, very long time. You won't have a whole lot of issues. This really does a lot for maintaining Windows and keeping your system running smooth. But the tool that we're after now is called Smart Defrag, and you'll see it right here under the Optimize. Click on it. And if you don't already have it installed, it'll take you to the web page where you can download it, which I'll go ahead and show you that real quick. Bring up the web browser. Again, clicking on that button will just automatically take you to it. I'm going to have to go to it manually. Again, it's just got to go back to IObit. And this time you'll go to the products, and over here, right there, you'll see under Performance Products, Smart Defrag 2. When you click on that, it'll bring it up. Just click on the free download. Again, you know, this is another free program, but this one helps maintain your hard drive. All you have to do once you get to the Major Geek site after clicking the download is select one of these two mirrors for download. Once you click on it, it'll automatically go to it and begin the download. Just click save. And of course, once it's saved, you can click on it in the browser to start it up, start up the installer. Click run. Of course, there's the user account control again. Yes. Click next. Here's another one for that toolbar. You know how I feel about toolbars. Decline. Okay, and then it's going to bring up this deal that says free download now, 100% free, 100% secure. Advanced System Care Ultimate. You do not want to do that, and it gives you the silent install or skip. Click skip. And at this point, Smart Defrag 2 is installed. Close the browser back down. And this right here will actually keep your hard drive defragged on an all the time continuous basis. It'll constantly defrag your drive. It'll optimize your drive. I have mine actually configured to automatically optimize the drive once a month. And it'll sit there and run every time your system's sitting there not really doing anything and it's in idle. It'll actually run and defrag the hard drive. Okay, and to configure your Smart Defrag, all you have to do is come up here and you see where it says automatic defrag and the boot time defrag. Most of the time the boot time will be deselected, and it'll also be deselected on your other drives if you have other drives. If all you have is a C drive, you should see like what's up here on the very top line where it says automatic defrag yes, boot time no. If by chance automatic says no, all you have to do is just click directly on where it says no and it'll change to yes, and that activates the automatic boot time defrag. Same with any other drive that you have on your system. Seeing as how you don't actually have boot files and stuff, I don't recommend selecting boot time defrag on the other drives, just the C drive. From there, you want to go to the automatic defrag tab, and right here where it says automatic defrag is activated on this volume, if yours says deactivated, all you have to do is click right here where mine says turn off. It'll say turn on, and then click configure. The automatic defrag will be the first thing that comes up. Leave the options here on default. I'll have mine turned up. I set mine to where after 8 minutes it'll start doing the automatic defrag, and I have the system resources. If it exceeds 80%, it stops. My system has a lot of resources, and if it actually reaches or exceeds 80%, it's really doing something. So from there you can just go to the scheduled defrag. Normally this is turned off. All you have to do is click on the on, set it to fully optimize, and I would tell it to just do the C drive. That's the only one you really want to worry about it doing the scheduled defrag on. The C drive is your primary drive where the operating system is stored, so that one you definitely want it to make sure it does that from time to time. And then you can come over here and click configure, and you see how it says every week. Change that to every month on the 1st at 10 p.m. And then you have the option, if you're running a laptop, to save battery life. Do not start the task if the computer is running on battery, and stop the task if battery mode begins. This also, I don't know if it works with some of the battery backup systems. It might actually work if you have one that's capable of monitoring and it tells the system that it's running on battery. This will also help me save battery life on that too, because it stops the drive from running so hard while it's doing an automatic defrag. But once you get it set to every month and get your time set, just click OK and then click apply, and then come over here to the boot time defrag. Normally this right here will say every 7-day first boot. I would change it to every 14 days. So once every 2 weeks it'll do the boot time defrag. Once you get that set, just click apply, click OK, and you now have it all configured. If this is your first time installing Smart Defrag, just like with Advanced System Care if it's the first time, you might want to come over here and click on the state. Select all your drives, drop down here to the bottom, right here where it says defrag. Click the little drop down and go to defrag and fully optimize, and it'll start the process of going ahead and defragging your hard drive. I would highly recommend doing that for the very first go around, and from that point on, Smart Defrag will keep the drives maintained. Even whenever you click the close button, if you click over here where it says show hidden icons, if you bring that up, you'll notice that you see this little icon right here. It's got kind of a part blue circle, looks like little pieces inside of it. That is a SmartFrag 2 automatic defrag, and whenever it's sitting there in the task tray, it'll actually, when your system goes idle, start defragging on its own. It will maintain your hard drives automatically. That is an absolute wonder. Again, all the programs that I show on here are absolutely free. These are programs that I've found over the years that have worked very, very well. They maintain your system very well, and there's no better price tag than free. Again, if you want the extras and you want it to do everything absolutely automatic, you can purchase the full version. That's entirely your choice. The free version works great, and for the most part will work just fine for keeping your system maintained. And as always, if you like my videos, direct your friends to watch the videos. These are here for everybody. They'll help everybody out, do absolute wonders for your system. And as always, like, watch, and share. Have a good day.